fuck is going on, guys? I'm here with Mr. Ryan motherfucking Stewman. I'd be your hype man a little bit better, but I don't have Danny here to help me with that. But I appreciate you being on, dude.
Yeah, man, we'll have a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I know you're a busy dude. There's a lot of people out there that know your fucking name, and you're only going to continue to grow your brand. You're on to bigger and better things. But for people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, if you don't know who I am, you should probably, like, if you like the show, the best place to find out is Google, because it's kind of a long story. I don't have one of those, like, oh, I do this kind of stories. I've done a lot of stuff, but currently I'm the CEO of a company called Phone Sites. We developed the software that allows people to build a website from their mobile device in like 5 minutes, and we've been we've had this company for about 18 months. We got 4,000 and something users. We just crossed 4,000 users this week, so it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely, dude.
And like 4,000 paying customers, that we have, so it's huge for me. And then I run a company called Break Free Academy, where we coach like millionaires and big time business people into having it all, right? We live by something called the G code and everything else, and man, I got one of these stories that's like literal rags to riches to rags to riches to rags to riches a few times, and
Hell yeah.
I'm a good storyteller, so I'm sure we're gonna have some good stories on the show.
Fuck yeah, I like it, dude. So
the reason why I do that, Jimmy, is because I've done like 1,021, I think it's 1,022nd podcast or some shit like that I've done, right?
Fuck yeah.
And so I don't want to like really tell my story because that would take up time, and it's out there, and I think we can do something cool.
It's not as efficient, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll think on the fly. So you said something cooler, right? Well, fortunately for you, I just threw a curveball at you right when you got here. We chatted about it just a little bit. You guys are watching this right now. We'll flip the camera here in a little bit, but I've got a Jeopardy game for you too. So every 10-minute segment, you're going to hear a loud ass alarm. We're 2 minutes in right now. That's going to say, hey, Ryan, fucking stop, man. We're going to play some Jeopardy. We have 9 questions with 3 per 10-minute segment. From anywhere from 5th grade math, random-ish, and heavy flow. He had no clue what heavy flow was, but that's going to be the surprise section for you. So we'll have some fun.
Man, if you find out it's a heavy flow, it's a surprise anytime, right?
Yeah. So we want to keep it interesting because, like you said, the longer you talk about something, the more likely you are to lose interest in people. We want to keep this interesting because we got the man, the myth, the legend right here next to me. So
I like the Jeopardy. I've never done that on a podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, try something different, man.
Yeah, something different. I dig it.
Like you said, leveling up. Try to think of outside the box a little bit. Get creative. Keep it fun for people. So, my big thing. So I actually know you. I've known you for a couple years because you used to come to our gym a little bit. So I have a little bit of leg up and a little bit of knowledge on you that compared to most people have as far as you per se. But I want to hear about. Tell us about you went to fucking prison, right?
Yeah, I did, man.
So how did you wind up out of there, and like how did you go from prison to where you are now?
Well, that's something that actually would make a good topic. So when I was 19 years old, the first opportunity in business for me wasn't network marketing or gold coins or going and getting a sales job or anything like that. Like where I came from, the first business opportunity that was presented to me to make money from was selling drugs. And I wasn't like a bad guy drug dealer. I think most drug dealers aren't. You know what I mean? Like at least all the ones that I've met over the years. Yeah, we weren't like shooting each other's houses and shit like that up. We just like sell a little reefer, and occasionally some white girl and shit like that, And anyway, one night I got to partying. I was always like, don't get high, like, period. Like, not get high on your own supply, just don't get high, right? And I smoked weed and shit, and I already had a problem with that.
Right.
So I knew if I tried, like, hard drugs or something, man, if it was, like, all in like I was smoking pot, I was going to be in big trouble, So I just never did it. But one night, fucking chicks, man, they'll do this to you, This chick talked me into doing some coke with her. And, the traditional sales pitch, the sex will be great, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. So, like, I'm drunk, and at the house, the safe space and shit, so what I thought was a safe space anyway. And I went to go snort a line of coke, right? And I did, and I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember waking up in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And they tell me that, like, I overdosed, had a seizure, and died, and was brought back on the defibrillator. Fucking, right? Like, I don't know any of this. I just wake up, and I'm like, oh shit, how do people think that's fun? Oh fuck, dude, I'm in the hospital, right? Like, oh shit, these are handcuffs. That's like just fucking clue after clue, like the fucking Hangover over here, you know, like in real life. And fuck, dude, they arrested me for the drugs and guns that I had in my house, and gave me a felony 1, man, which is like the equivalent of murder and shit like that.
Oh shit.
And it was my first offense, like for felony anyway, and.
Yeah.
They told me that they were going to give me 20 years probation. I wasn't even 20 years old.
Fuck.
And I'd still be on it today if that was the case. Mm-hmm. And I knew my fuck punk ass couldn't be straight for 20 years, right. You know, which obviously I've proved. And so I didn't take probation, and they offered me 5 years in prison. We finally settled at 2 years. And the attorney's like, hey, man, you're just going to do like a couple months, and you'll make parole. You won't even go to like a real prison. You'll just be in the county. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, 2 months, that'll give me time to sober up, rethink things, I'll be back on the streets. All right, I'll do that, right? So I signed for felony 1, the worst felony. I mean, I might as well be a rapist, murderer, fucking all that shit falls under. Actually, rape is felony 2.
Fuck.
Right? I had $250 worth of cocaine, and I have a fucking criminal record worse than a dude that's raped multiple people. It's fucking crazy,
That's
man.
fucked up.
But I am allowed to go next to schools, and I don't have to fill out any weird shit, so I'm thankful for that, right? So some felonies still are better than others, I guess.
Right.
But anyway... So I signed the papers. 2 weeks later, they got me shackled, naked, fucking... Dude, it was like trained to Auschwitz. I shit you not. The shit you see that the fucking Jewish people went through in the Holocaust was real fucking similar to what they do to people in the prison system. That's the shit they don't show you on Locked Up, right? And so let me tell you how bad it was. Okay? First of all, they make you get butt naked. And I'm not talking like your underwear. I'm talking like you and the dude in front of you. If your nuts touch his ass because they keep telling you to get closer, that's just fucking part of the game. You better hope he doesn't get excited, right? Like, I'm dead fucking serious. It's weird, and you're shackled together.
Right.
So you have, like, you're butt naked and shackled. It's fucking embarrassing as fuck, man. But anyway, then they put this jumpsuit on you over the shackles, so it's real fucking weird. You got cables running through your shit, and they load you on a bus for like 6 hours in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? Uh-huh. Which I have a sneaking suspicion is only 30 goddamn minutes up the road. They just fucking drove us in a circle for fucking 6 hours. I don't know. But anyway, I haven't gone back there from the outside to visit it, so I really don't know. But the fact is, I go there, and the bus pulls into what's called the Sally Port. That's basically 2 gates, right? One gate, you enter, gate closes behind you before the other gate enters. It's called Sally Port, right? Mm-hmm. And so... they pull in and they let the prisoners off inside this, once you made it through the Sally Port, right? And the dude in the front, I remember because I was in the tank with him in the county, didn't have no legs. Or if he had legs, they were fucked up. Dude couldn't walk, right? And so I don't know what the dude did or whatever, but they did. And they fucking drugged this motherfucker off of the bus and made him fucking walk with his fucking elbows in there while fucking another inmate was kicking him and shit like that, dude. I guess he fucking killed a family of 4 in a drunk driving accident, right? Oh, shit. And I got off, and I don't know all this till later, right? And I'm like, if they fucked up the legless dude, they're about to fucking kill me, man. I didn't know what the fuck to think, right? But obviously that dude, somebody along the way knew what was up. And so, anyway, go through there. I had a rough time in prison, man. You know, like if you watch TV and the guy walks down the road and they're like, hey, I'm going to blah, blah, whatever, right? And like, you think, damn, that's got to be fucked up. I had to do that shit 8 times. Yeah. I had to go to 8 different prisons, man. And they were like, hey, we're going to move you. You got to quit fighting. I'm like, well, leave me somewhere, right? Like, that's what you do when you go to a new place is you got to fight somebody. That's just fucking how it is. And these motherfuckers keep moving me around, and then I keep getting fights, but I outsmarted the system. Because I got like a 78 on my IQ test, which means I'm legally retarded. So like when I would get in fights, it would go on my jacket, but I didn't really have to do much like time. You know what I mean? I didn't get much restrictions because they're like, oh, he's fucking retarded. You know what I mean? He doesn't know any better. And so I just play it too. It's like, what? I didn't know we couldn't fight in here. I thought it was prison, you know. And they fucking, you know, they would like, they wouldn't restrict me, right? And so, yeah. But it was tough, man. And I got out, swore I'd be straight for the rest of my life, right? Like everybody does. And I was, you know, and I got out and I went to work for a car wash. And I decided I was going to be the best damn car wash guy ever. That was my goal in life, man. And I was, dude. I could wash them, wax them, wheel them, tire them, dude. You didn't build it, break it. I could fucking do it all, right? And I got a job offer from one of the customers that came in there to work in finance. And long story short, I explained all my history and everything. And she still gave me the job. But so that was like 2003, like I think October of 2003. Mm-hmm. By 2004, I had like my first 6-figure year. Okay, so that meant I was 25. By 2005, I had almost done $1 million in a year. And because of that, man, I'm like this young dude living in the same old town I used to sling dope in, and not far from the same old neighborhood, and still rolling in and out of there to see my friends and shit. And the cops, I guess, thought I sold weed, or thought I was selling drugs, because I had all this nice shit, was making money. And they kicked my door in the city of Allen, please, fuck you guys. They kicked my door in with no evidence whatsoever, and a snitch. Somebody snitched and said, like, somebody, I guess, got pulled over with drugs and said they got them from me. But that's impossible because I didn't even have sandwich baggies in my house. Like, I'm so anti-drug. Like, dude, you go and fucking walk around 8 compounds and fucking fight 16 motherfuckers over the course of 19 months, and you'll be done with drugs too, or you'll decide you like that life. It wasn't for me, right? And so I'm straight as a fucking arrow, right? So somebody snitches, the cops fucking we're gonna get them. They fucking bomb my house with flash grenades and shit. I'm not even in this motherfucker.
Right.
Like, good work, detectives, you know? I'm not even fucking in there. I'm not even in the goddamn country. I'm fucking with my grandparents. Literally with my grandparents on family reunion in Mexico, and these motherfuckers are like, he's in the house now, get him! So they go in the house, there's no drugs, there's no roaches, there's not even any alcohol at this point in my life. Dude, I'm on this Tony Robbins diet and fucking doing all this, like, getting my life together shit. Dude, I'm a millionaire. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking vibrating on a different level than that old fucking thug shit. But I get it, because I had a lot of traffic at my house. People paying me rent, people picking up packages, my friends coming over, you know. I didn't think that my thought process was if you're not selling drugs and they know you're not selling drugs, surely they don't kick your fucking door in, but whatever.
Right.
So they kick the door in. I show up from being out of the country like an hour after they're in my house and shit, and I'm like, hey guys, is everything okay? And they're like, get them! Get who? Fuck me? Dude, I thought somebody killed my roommate. I really did. I had a little business partner, roommate guy that was with me, and he did some of the paperwork for us. He lived upstairs like a fucking hermit. I thought maybe he got into it with somebody or did something fucked up or whatever. Oh. Woo! Oh shit, we gotta do the Jeopardy thing.
We'll finish up your thought on that. No, finish it up.
Anyway, apparently he was home, and he didn't have any drugs or nothing either, and he had a gun, and there was a gun in my bedroom that actually belonged to my stepdad. I had bought the house from him. They kind of bailed him out of a financial jam, but long story short, they arrested me for that gun. And even though I wasn't there, blah, 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 they found a picture on a cell phone of me holding the gun and fucking got that to stick in court. But I beat the case because it had been enough, because I wasn't on parole or anything. I could have a gun in my house, and it wasn't like I was carrying it in my car or brandishing it or anything.
Right.
But so I beat the county case, and the feds ended up picking it up. So we'll tell the story after Jeopardy here. What you got?
After Jeopardy. All right, dude, I love it. Okay, so here's what we got.
What do we got?
We've got Courtney over here who's going to show you what category we have. So, Courtney, go ahead and tell us what we got.
We have 5th grade math.
Okay.
How do we know it's really 5th grade math?
We just categorize it. We, fuck it. It may or may not be 5th grade
it's
math.
called trusting Jimmy at this point. I don't really know.
This is off the top.
Gotcha.
Random-ish.
Random-ish. Okay.
And heavy flow.
And heavy flow. Holy Santa Claus shit. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's just do heavy flow for 600 right out of the gate. Let's just see what's going on here.
Okay, heavy flow for 600. So fuck it, one for the top, huh?
I mean, I'm really interested, so I figure we might as well see what the
I've got
heaviest
I've got my cheat sheet here. Okay, the girls were telling me that this is a popular topic. I had no fucking clue what it was.
Okay, all right.
What does R mean on a tampon?
I don't know that I've ever really seen a tampon before. Like, I've bought packages, but I've never really examined one or read the packaging on one.
We'll take a guess. What does R mean on a tampon?
Well, I would guess red. You know, I don't know.
That was my guess too.
Yeah.
It's actually regular.
Well,
regular. Okay, so next.
Well, that wouldn't be a heavy flow at all. It would be a regular flow.
Shit, I don't know. This is what the ladies told me. It was a trick question. Okay, pick another one. What else we got?
I like math. Let's do 5th grade math for 600.
Okay. Pen and paper.
No calculator.
No calculator. Okay. You're gonna need to write this shit down.
All right. Talk to me. What you got?
Okay. I need a grand total answer here at the end after all this shit.
That's how math works.
Square root of 144 plus 2 squared minus 14 times 1,000
Okay.
plus 1 divided by 1.
All right. Anything else?
That's it. Let's see what you got.
The answer is 2001.
That's 1.
It's 1. See, damn it. See, that was my... Anything divided by 1 is always
You
1,
ain't smarter
right?
than a 5th grader. We got your
No, I
ass.
am not. I really was torn between, okay, it's either 2000 or 1. And I was like, I think it's 2000. All right, got
Close.
it.
Okay, one more.
One more, damn it. All right, I got to redeem myself on some math, man. 400
Okay.
for math.
You're going to have to write this shit down, too.
Yeah, of course.
5 times 5 times 4 divided by 100 times 100 divided by 4. What is your final answer?
It's 0.
Sure about that?
Well, if 100 divided by 100 would be, it would be 1. Sorry. You know? That's 0.
The answer is 25.
How the fuck you get 25?
The answer is 25. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
That-
5 times 5 is
that
25
is-
times 4 is 100 divided by 100. That's fucking 1.
5 times 5 is 25. Times 4 is 100. Divided by 100 is 1. Times 100 is 100.
I didn't
Divided by
fucking think you had to
4
go back there.
is
Gotcha.
25. Holy shit.
Fuck that, I got a calculator.
All right. So,
This is why they make calculators and spreadsheets.
0 for 3 for the closer to start. Let's
Yep.
get back on track. So, we were on prison talk. So, let's keep the prison talk rolling.
So I beat the case, and then the feds actually picked it up. I don't know why. I think the city of Allen was scared that I was going to sue them. And probably because I told them I was going to sue them. Here's the lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Don't tell people shit. Just do it. And so I think they were worried about that because I got the case dropped and they had no evidence and no right to really be there, and the fucking snitch was some bullshit or whatever, right? And today I still remember CI, which means Certified Informant, Confidential Informant, number 420. And I thought, how appropriate for me. And but they never revealed who it was because we never went to court. Mm-hmm. But I get this lawyer, new lawyer, and basically we get him elected as district attorney of Dallas County. And this dude's like a Democrat and a black dude. Those are like two things that had never been in the courts of Dallas County ever before. Now it has, but we changed that, right? And don't judge me on politics. I was just trying to get my lawyer elected where I had a little pool there. You know what I mean? Like, none of that shit mattered to me. Color, religion, race, I don't give a fuck. You can get me out of prison, we doing some shit, you know?
Right.
And that's kind of what happened, you know? He pulled some strings when he became the DA, and the feds went from trying to give me 20 years. I always 20 years with the fuckers. They went from trying to give me 20 years, which could you imagine, like, you know, you see like Making a Murderer and shit like that. Dude, there's a ton of people like me, man, that were just like minding their own business. I was fucking minding my own business, living a good, clean life, and these fuckers come and try to swipe 20 years of my life. Could you imagine that?
No.
And in the federal system, 20 years is 20 years. Like, you do day for day. Like, these fuckers, like, even, let me tell you how clean I was. When they brought me in and arrested me, they drug tested me on the spot, and I fucking pissed crystal clear. I didn't fucking know the feds were, because it's not like, hey man, the feds are going to raid my house, got to get my life together. And
Right.
And they were still going to give me 20 years. Mm-hmm. Because they came to get drugs, there was no drugs, I didn't even fail a drug test. They accidentally find a gun that's not even mine, and they try to get me 20 years. I still can't to this day, man.
Right.
I'd still be in that bitch. And they gave me 15 months, though. Even though I fucking still didn't do anything, man. They gave me 15 months, and it was like hell to fucking fight for 15 months.
Right.
And so I had to go do 15 months in federal prison, like 2007 to 2008. Mm-hmm. And, man, that's really rough to go from, like, being a millionaire to being incarcerated. you know,
Oh, shit.
and especially he didn't do anything wrong. It's different if like stole from people or so. I like literally did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And I did my 15 months and got out and got back into the mortgage business, and which was probably the worst time in the world to be in that business. But I'm a closer. I crushed that shit, you know, and did really well. Like built my business up, was making, you know, multiple six figures a year in really the worst economy that in my lifetime. And the goddamn government stepped in again and wouldn't give me a license.
Right.
The licenses were issued by the state of Texas, and the federal government said, no, we're going to start issuing licenses. And they said, but not to you.
Right.
And I'm like, well, shit.
That's because of your background, right?
Yeah, because of being a felon. And I'm like, well, shit, what am I going to do? Like, I only know two things. I ain't going back to washing cars. Definitely not going back to selling drugs. Like, fuck, dude, I don't know what to do. So one of my friends was like, hey, you do so many mortgages. Like, nobody's making $1 million a year doing mortgages.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, because they're fucking all lazy or whatever. Because I was like that guy, you know what I mean? Like, the other sales guys, like, hey, you guys enjoying that ramen? I'm going to be eating steak and lobster over here tonight. You know, try to fire them up and end up pissing them off more, you know? But,
Right.
But I was just trying to inspire them with my plaques and shit like that.
Right.
You can come take it whenever you're ready, but nobody wanted it,
Yeah.
you know? And so my friend tells me, hey, you should coach loan officers and real estate agents, show them how you did all this business. It's like, fuck, dude, that can't be a real thing. Nobody's paying for like loan officer coaches. And he's like, yeah, it doesn't exist. There's like 2 people that do it. You have a wide open fucking industry, and neither one of those guys has written a loan in fucking 20 years. And I was like, I could maybe teach some people how I did some shit.
Yeah.
Maybe. And so that's like what got me started into internet marketing. I knew none of those guys from the office were going to pay for me.
Right.
So I had to figure out how to get strangers to come in. And so I started studying internet marketing, and obviously for 10 years now, that's like what led me down to the path that I am today. But it's crazy to think that like just, you know, 10, 11 years ago, it's not even been 11 years yet, I was sitting in prison, like supposed to rot away for 20 years. And today I was like, I went to my kid's soccer game.
Yeah.
I went to an investment property I own, unfortunately, and had to fucking deal with some bees and shit. It's fuck bees.
Did you buy that fucking bee
bees.
suit?
Dude, no, they won't let me
You
do
need to
it.
buy the fucking
Well, they
bees.
won't let me do it
I'm
because
gonna
they're like,
cut you off.
if you die,
I'm gonna cut you off for a second.
if I die, then nobody's gonna run the company.
I'll
So they're like,
fucking
we
get
don't
in
want
a
to get
bee
you.
suit.
See, now we're fucking talking,
So
but they're gone.
He
They're
had a
gone.
chance to get a bee suit. It's like $500 of that. $500 for that, you piss on.
It was like
$500.
$150. It wasn't even that much.
Okay,
yeah, it was
well,
like $150. Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to get a fucking bee suit for $150? Get up there and fuck with some bees.
That's what I thought, right? But then what are you going to do with them when you're done? You can't just, like, I don't
Throw
want
them
to kill
in the
them.
neighbor's yard.
Yeah, well, you can't, then they'll come back. But again, I'm selling the house, so fuck those people anyway. They're getting a good deal, you know? But so I go there this morning, and like my kid, Jax, he has a soccer game. By the way, he scored 4 goals. He's a little badass. You can see him out there, man. He looks like he's ready to kill everybody.
Well, I'm saw him dust your other son's ass in that
Yeah, he's
straightaway
fast.
race.
He's a competitor. And the other 2 are competitors too. That's just how bad he wants. He's just like me. And dropped him off at the field, and I'm like, good luck, buddy. I'll be back in a minute. And I drove over to the investment property I have. Lockbox, fucking somebody changed the combination. So I got to call Christine, get the combination, get the key out. It's not easy to get people at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday, right? Finally get a hold of somebody who knows the damn lockbox. He changed one number. I'm like, why would you even do that? Anyway, then I open the front door, the fucking door's stuck. There's a fucking piece of metal sticking up on the track. I tried to kick that motherfucker in like the ATF did my old house, man. I still couldn't get in that bitch, right? So then I go to the side, fucking backyard's locked up. Fucking different key. Like shit.
Right.
I called my ex-wife. I'm like, hey, are you with Jax? She goes, what the fuck do you mean I'm with Jax? He slept with you last night. Where the fuck is our kid? I'm like, no, I meant, are you at the field with Jax? Are you not at the field with Jax? Well, no, I'm not at the field with Jax. I'm actually, damn it, I'll be there in 3 minutes, right? He's a big dude. Nobody wants him. He talked their ear off and shit. But anyway, so I haul ass home, 120 miles an hour in my fucking car, turn around, come fucking back. Get to the house, realize the other goddamn back door was open the whole fucking time. I had to go get the garage door clicker from my truck.
Yeah.
Make it over to the game in time to see him score his first goal. I made it there just as he was kicking it in. Left there, went home, got yelled at by the wife for not being home enough, right? Like, hey, these kids are running around here. What are you doing? Went to Cars and Coffee, hung out for about an hour and networked with some of my friends and fucking made it up here, dude. So like to think, just like 10 years ago, I was in prison. Today I was hanging out with millionaires with exotic cars, playing soccer at private school, you know, with my kids, and like it's, you know, it's the whole point of that is the story has a happy ending.
Dude,
you know?
I love that. That's cool. That's badass. So we have about 2 minutes till that loud ass.
I just can't own guns anymore. You know, that's the one thing. If like they're like, hey, if you could spend money on one thing, what would it be? I'd be like the right to bear arms again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's all my family members and friends, you know, have the right to do it. And even though I shouldn't even have my right infringed on because I didn't do nothing in the first fucking place.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the feds, because state of Texas gives you a right to fucking own guns back. But the feds made me sign a thing saying that if I'm caught with guns in my possession, I have to do 20 years. The fucking guy's in these 20 years, man. I don't fucking get it.
It's a long ass time, man.
So, yeah.
Nothing to fuck with. Well, I said 2 minutes, but
Let's do it.
We're gonna, you know what? Let's do it again.
Yeah, it's
Let's
perfect
flip the
pause time.
script. All right, so let's get the song back on.
Do we have to answer
Dude,
all of them? Is that the
This is
point?
the second. You pick 3 more. Now, you fucked up royally the first time.
We're going to heavy flow 400.
Now you need to. Okay, heavy flow for 400.
It was exactly
Dude,
what
you
I
gotta
thought
get
it was.
one on the board here, dude.
Well, I'm trying to get 4.
This is horrible. All right, so what is the most used tampon?
Tampax. Has to be Tampax.
Wow.
It has to be. I see the commercials for them all the time.
Holy
It has to be,
shit.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's the only one I know.
The closer's on the board. All right, Mr. Closer.
Well, there was an old joke.
Oh shit.
There's
dude.
actually 2 brands of tampons. I know this is really funny. So Saturday morning, little Johnny. You know, there's always little Johnny jokes, right? Like little Johnny's leaving the house. He's got his jar that he's been saving his money up with, and his dad's like, "Where are you going, Johnny?" He's like, "Going to the store." What are you going to go? What are you going to the store to buy? And he's like, OB tampons. He's like, OB tampons? The hell are you buying OB tampons for? He goes, you can go hiking, horse riding, biking, swimming.
Well, Closer, hit us with another one. What do you got? Number 2.
Let's do random-ish for 600.
Random-ish for 600. Okay. Let's see how well you do on this one. This threw me through a loop. They didn't know this one either. What is the richest country in the world? The richest country in the world.
Yeah, don't take the answer yet. It's either Liechtenstein or Ghana, I think. Neither one of those, huh?
I didn't shake my head.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna go with Ghana. I think that the African in Ghana is the richest country.
Ghana. That's your
I
answer?
think so. What is it?
Qatar.
Qatar.
So fun little fact for you watching this and listening to this. Qatar, 2.6 million people. They have a GNI per capita of $116,799. That's on average $20,000 higher annually than any other nation. One more, Mr. Closer.
Qatar's nice. That's like UAE and all that shit.
It is awesome.
We'll do random for 400.
Random-ish for 400. What is the average life expectancy of a human being nowadays?
Male or female?
Just in general.
So I would say 73.
Want to take a second guess?
I'm close, but no, I don't know.
79.
Oh, okay.
79. 6 years off. Not too bad, not too shabby. At least you
I was
got...
trying to blend. I knew women were like 68, and I thought dudes were 70. So probably women I meant dudes. I think are 73, and women typically live into their 80s. So that makes sense.
Yeah, you're close. You're in the ballpark. We'll call it even.
It was
on
around
that.
there.
All right. You didn't royally fuck up. You're on the board.
Mm-hmm. We can do 5th grade math for 200.
Oh, we'll do that. We got another segment here. We're going to chat a little bit more, and then we'll get you one last chance to get the last 3 off the board. So, you had a pretty awesome story. That's pretty incredible. That's inspiring. That's powerful. There's a lot of... It packs a huge punch. So, where you are now, we talked about where you started and where you're at now. What I want to talk to you about, and there's a lot of people who know you, like I said, but there's also a lot of people who don't. But talk to people about your business coaching. Talk to people about your Apex programs and why it's important to get connected with people, or why connections are so powerful in sales and life in general.
Well, you know, a lot of people think that I'm a sales trainer, and I'm really not. Everybody who's come into my programs over the years has already been good at sales. That's something that I think you really only need 2 things to be good at sales. You need confidence, which comes from product knowledge, right? You're confident in your product if you know everything about it and know the answers and know the objections and everything else. And empathy. And the way that you get empathy is from listening to people and understanding their situation so you can confidently offer them. So I think that's all you have to really do to be good at sales, right? You don't have to be a fancy talker. Just be a good listener. Be empathetic when you offer, and be empathetic and confident when you offer the solution. And so, assuming that, I just assume everybody's really good at sales. But what I do not assume is that everybody's good at lead gen.
Right.
Most people are fucking horrible at it. Most people are really good at sales, and they don't have enough people to sell to. And I can tell you, you can make $100, $200, $300, even $1 million a year as a salesperson. But when you get good at lead generation and you can match those sales skills to an unlimited pipeline of leads, you become a multi-millionaire. You become, I'm living it, right? I was always good at sales, but once you get good at lead gen, which is just the first step of sales anyway, to get somebody through the door. And so
Absolutely.
on the business side, I believe if you get good at lead gen, we can scale your business accordingly, right? As long as you got leads coming in the door, then we can hire people, move more product, sell shit to people, upsell, downsell. So that's really what I teach people in business, but it's a mind thing. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's a mindset, and I'm not really like the mindset coach, but there's a lot of mental roadblocks you got to get over on the road to making big money. Uh-huh. And with me, and with Apex, it's not just about money. We have something called the G code, which covers like the 4 G's of life to be great, right? Mm-hmm. It's the code to be great. So if you want to be great, you have to live by this code. You have to take care of you have to have a grateful mindset. You have to take care of your genetics. You have to stay on your grind, right? Work on your business hard. And then you have to make sure that you're surrounded by the right group of people. So it's gratitude, genetics, grind, and group, right? Those are our 4 G's. Mm-hmm. And, the thing about Apex is we cover all of that. We're really big into fitness and health because that's important. Like, how you going to make a whole bunch of money and you're going to be sick as fuck and not be able to enjoy it, I literally haven't been sick. I don't take no pills. I don't go to the fucking hospital. Never been to the emergency room other than a few times getting hit with a golf club on a Saturday and like shit like that. But like, I don't take any pills. I'm 40 years old. I'm perfectly healthy. I got like good everything. I just had a physical like 2 weeks ago. So because I take care of my genetics, the mindset thing's really big. You got to be grateful for where you're at while still in pursuit of what's next. But if you're not happy with what's now, you're not going to be happy with what's next either. So that's something that you got to learn to adapt with that we teach. And then I believe putting yourself around the right group of people will pretty much take care of everything else. And, if you're overweight, you got good friends, they're going to tell you you're overweight, you need to get your shit together. You might think, dude, that's really fucking vain. But if they're like people, like,
you gotta be honest with people.
Forbes Riley told me this the other day. Like, your friends love you enough to let you be you. I love you enough to tell you how you should fucking be. Right? I think you're better than that. I think everybody's better than they are right now. And if you're not constantly pushing to be stronger, better, richer, faster, nicer, more loved, more loving, if you're not fucking constantly pushing every day to be better at that shit, like, what the fuck are you doing on this planet? Right? You want, like, a lot of people, they like get to a place and they just stay there. They're like, oh, I got a good job, I'm very comfortable and everything else. But like, that's not why God created us, man. God created us to win. We were put on this planet with every tool to win.
Absolutely.
It's like a video game. When you play a video game, you got everything, you got everything with the hands, We got everything that you need to get out of that level, right? But sometimes people choose to just jump off the cliff and kill their character. Right? Sometimes they got everything right in front of them. They keep hitting the same wall going, why the fuck can't I get out of this room? And people do that here on this planet too. Everything you need is right here on this planet. The same shit that Jeff Bezos has access to worth $75 billion right now is the same shit you and I have access to, right? He was just better at organizing it than us. He's a few steps ahead of us. He's not that many steps ahead of us, right? He's only been running his business for 20 years or so. It's not even that fucking big of it's not even that long of a deal. I don't even think it's 20 years old. So I say these things like we have all these same resources. And so what I do is I teach people how to utilize all the resources they have and change that mindset from I'm here to exist or I'm here to do okay to I'm here to be great.
Yeah.
And I'll do this for your audience, man. If you're driving down the street, don't pull the bullshit of fucking running into somebody and blaming it on me. That's your fucking stupidity, right? But if you're not driving down the street, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand up and I want you to close your eyes, okay? And so stand up, like seriously, like if you're in a car or in the office, if you're in the office, fuck it, do this. This is only going to take us a couple minutes. I'll change your fucking life here in the next 5 minutes. The other thing, though, is if you're driving a car, man, come back to this episode and do this. It'll change life. Matter of fact, if you're driving a car, just stop listening now because you don't need to hear this because you'll discount it if you don't actually do it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand up. I want you to face forward with your eyes closed, and I want you to keep your eyes closed until I tell you to open them. From this point on, you will not open your eyes until I give you permission to open your eyes, okay? Absolutely. All right. I want you to turn your head slightly to the right and see an imaginary person standing next to yourself, okay? This imaginary person is the most elite version of yourself. This is who you could be if you were at the top of your game in every area, all 4 areas of the G code. I want you to imagine what your feet would look like, right? Are they strong and muscular? Are they thin? Are they shaved? Are they hairy? It's different for guys and girls, but imagine that if you were, you would definitely have ripped calves, right? Male or female, you would definitely have nice legs. They would probably be tan. Like start imagining that. Work your way up the calf to the thigh. How would your quads look? Would you have muscles in your leg? Again, would they be, thick with hair if you're a dude, or would they be shaved and shiny like dolphin skin if you're a woman? Worked up to your abs. You have 6-pack abs. You look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, Ronnie Coleman, flat, Brad Pitt and Snatch. You have beautiful abs. Woman, same thing. Look at your chest, right? Guys, you have big, strong pectoral muscles. Ladies, you probably have big fake tits. You know how that stuff goes, right? But like imagine the most elite version of yourself. Your shoulders, right? Imagine where your hair would be on your face and on your head in the right places, right? Hair transplant, all that stuff's not off the table. So if you wish you had hair, imagine yourself. Look at yourself ripped and beautiful, the most elite version of yourself because you've been putting in the work in the gym. Don't open your eyes yet. Stay staring at yourself. Now imagine the people around that person. The most elite version of yourself must have earned the most elite version of love from those around you. Imagine what it feels like for everybody that you know to just love and admire and be inspired by you. Imagine if you were demonstrating the most elite version of yourself physically and opened your heart lovingly, how many people would flock to you, that magnetism that you would have, right? Imagine what it feels like to be loved by even people who hate you now. Imagine not having to worry about finances. Whatever that number that you've had in your head is even smaller than the number that's in that bank account because you're the most elite version of yourself. You've worked your ass off. You've put in the work. You're rich. You're ripped. You're beautiful. You're loved. You have people always wanting to be around you and wanting your wisdom and advice. You have all the money in the world, no worries, no stress. Imagine that. Just take that in. That person that is it's you, the most beautiful, elite, ripped, loved, richest version you can imagine of yourself. Now you go back down to those feet that you saw, and I want you to, with your eyes closed still, don't open your eyes yet, I want you to take a step and put your feet right now in the feet of the place that you saw the most elite version of yourself. So stand right there and then move your head forward and then slowly open your eyes. Now here's the hard part that you're going to have to come to grips with. That's who you were supposed to be. You just saw what you fucked up. But guess what? You have another fucking chance right now to start putting in the work to be that person. That's who you were created to be. That's what's possible on this planet. That's what you should be working towards every single day. You saw the vision that you saw for a reason, and that's who you could be, and that's what you need to work on every day, and that's why the G Code's so important to stick to it so that you can have that. And that's what we do at Apex.
That's awesome, man. That's powerful. Good shit. Love that.
Dude, I always see people crying in the audience when I do that shit. I see people the look of disappointment, like, oh, I fucked up.
But dude, so here's the thing. Before we get to our last segment of Jeopardy, because we're almost that annoying ass clock's about to go off. But that's powerful, man. And the reason why I came to work for you, there's a reason why other people came to work for you. There's a reason why all of these people listening to you right now and seeing this on YouTube follow you is because you're a real dude. You're the words that you say carries weight.
And you know that because a lot of people say that, but we've spent literally 4 or 5 hours a week together for a year and a half probably. Yeah. I think your gym trainer, you have a lot of conversation with that person, because you're together for an hour a day.
But what you need to see, because you're on a different level from a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you this as somebody who's not quite on your level yet, is that you pack a punch. You're powerful. You have the opportunity to change people's lives. And what you do is making a difference not only in mine, not only the people that work here in this building, but everybody else listening to this and watching this. So I want to say, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everybody here, saying, thank you, because that's powerful. People need more people like you, real motherfuckers, real talk, real time, no bullshit. People that get you results, people that get you what you deserve, and that's you, man. And I appreciate that, and I know a lot of other people do.
Thanks, man. For 10 years now, I've been doing this shit. I don't have any experience of owning a business or anything. Dude, I've never left anybody worse off than they found me, man. There's some people that don't like me, but that's just because I had to tell them some shit that they weren't ready to hear at that time. They'll come back around, But the truth is, I've been doing this for 10 years, and on the scale that I have, not to be on the rip-off report, man, that's saying something,
Absolutely.
There ain't nobody been doing this as long as me that ain't got a bunch of bad press out there. And I don't have bots eating the shit up or nothing, man. I just don't fucking let people down. I really care. I don't think a lot of people in my job pretend to care online. I pretend not to give a fuck online, but I really do. I pretend not to give a fuck so hard because I know it's like you catch feelings for somebody. You know what I mean? I know that when I do give a fuck, it's like, oh shit, I care more than you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want people listening to be the most elite version of themselves more than they do. I'm working on it every day. I hire a personal trainer. I have the right people in my business with me. I have the right group of people in my life. I didn't just go hang out at that car show because those guys have money. I went there because Burton is one of our Apex guys. Charles is one of my Arte brothers. You know what I mean? Craig's he's the guy that writes the checks for the state troopers that patrol the freeway here. I wouldn't even fucking know that guy if it wasn't for being in there. And I got to know them because of the car, but I would be their friend if they drove whatever. You know what I mean? Now that I know their character and stuff. So
I love it, dude. And that's what you're predicated upon is service.
Yep.
And that's what sells. And that's what helps people the most. That's what people deserve.
It's true.
So I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. So
we got one more question.
holy shit, that was awesome.
I'm gonna be late for my kid's birthday party.
Oh man. So what we're gonna do, we have 3 more questions of Jeopardy. I'm gonna cue the music.
We're gonna have to
leave us with some inspiration to finish, and then we'll get you out of here for your birthday party.
Alrighty.
All right, so we got 3 categories left. We have 5th grade math, random-ish, heavy flow, all 200. So this should be easy shit. Don't fuck
Let's
this
do
up.
the random one. 200.
Okay.
Don't
200.
fuck this up. You wrote the questions, shit.
I didn't even know half the questions.
If you made the questions impossible to answer, you fucked up.
I did fuck up. All right. Oh shit. All right, random-ish for 200. When you go bowling, how many bowling pins are there in total?
10.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure it's 10.
Okay, 10 on the board. Good shit. All right, what do you got next? You got 2 more.
Let's do the heavy flow.
Heavy float for 200. How long is a woman's normal menstrual cycle? How many days?
So I am not smart enough to know the difference between, okay, so I guess you're saying how long does it last? I don't know, probably 7 days, maybe. Cool.
You pulled that one out of your ass.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Nah, I figure, when it's that time of the month, it lasts about a week, so I'm just kind of doing it.
All right,
How's that shit work around my house? All right, yeah, we'll say a week.
Mr. Closer, last one. 5th grade math for 200. What is 5 times 5?
We already established that was 25 earlier, right? Yeah.
I was about to say, if you fuck that one up,
Yeah.
we have some big issues. Okay, so guys, that is it for Jeopardy. Guess how many you got right in total?
2.
3.
3. Got it.
4. Oh, well,
hey,
I got correct.
check
Wow,
me
4.
out.
Okay, well, never
Check
mind.
me out.
And 2 of those.
4 out of 9.
2 of those
40%, not good.
were the heavy flow questions. So you definitely know your women.
I said red. That's funny.
You
as
said
shit.
red. Hey,
I
well,
thought maybe it turned red when it was ready to be changed or something. Hell, I don't know.
Well, now you know, buddy. So
Somebody should invent that, right? Like it's just like it's like the litmus thing in the pool. It's like, oh, hey, it needs to be shocked.
that's
It's
your
like-
next best thing, right there.
There we
You're
go.
up.
I'm pretty sure some dude invented the tampon anyway, right? Like, I don't think some chick was like, if I just put something in it, I don't know.
Right.
It sounds like something a dude would do.
Well, man,
I think that's actually a fact that the dude.
It might
invented
be.
that. Yeah, I think so.
Shit, I don't know. Well, on a closing note, because you're the closer, leave us with some good shit.
Well, you saw who you're supposed to be. I left you with some good shit. Now you got to just go work for it. But here's what you can expect. The push-ups you put in today don't even yield results for 6 months, right? The diet you start today, you won't even notice the difference for fucking 4 months. The work that you put in today is not even going to pay you for a year. And so, man, the way the force of average gets people when they're trying to be the most elite version of themselves is somebody will do something for 30 days and go, well, fuck, my life is no different. First of all, you have to start focusing on the wins. Man, you got to remind yourself every day that you're a winner. Because you do win. Everything that's come up against you to this point in your life is lost. You're still here. Everything else ain't, you know? So you're still around. So you're a winner. You got to remember that. But you also got to think long term, right? The shit that you do today, the hours you put in on the job today, no matter what your job is, may not pay you for a year. I mean, I got a buddy who makes, 9 figures a year, and he worked for 10 years for free. Right? Dude lived on a fucking cot in the back of a warehouse for 10 fucking years. Now he's making 9 figures. But that work that he did 10 years ago for fucking free is now 9 figures. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Right? Like me, I have a good income, right? And the reason why is because for fucking 10 years ago, I was writing blogs when nobody was reading them. I was making YouTube videos just like Jimmy's doing right now. And there was only 100 or 50 or 20 people watching my shit, right? And now it's millions. But it's only millions because I started off with 5 people watching it. Still to this day, the second podcast I ever did in my life has 1 listen, me, to make sure the motherfucker still worked. I can't believe nobody listened to it, But I didn't quit, right, and let the force of average stop me because I knew that podcast today is just going to lead to more shit and more business. It's going to be out there forever. And so you got to be patient with this shit. You have to be grateful for what you have while you're in pursuit of what's next. That's a big deal. That's the real balance. Fuck the work-life shit. Being grateful and getting more, that's the real balance we got to mentally focus on.
Damn, man, I love it. So, lastly, how do people get in contact with you? How do people get a hold of you?
Best place is just follow me on Instagram at Hardcore Closer. That's you can send me DMs. I check them every day. I don't always reply to them, so if you send me something and it's bullshit and you don't get a reply, you're like, But if it's good shit, I read them all. I just don't reply to all of them. But yeah, so just hit me up on Instagram. Make sure you follow me, spread the word, share this, tag me, whatever the fuck, at Hardcore Closer.
Cool. Yeah, guys, and then for me, obviously I'm not as cool as him. I don't have as many followers, but not yet. But you can follow my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and a few other platforms. It's Off the Top with Mr. November. We're also going to be accessible on YouTube now, so Ryan's going to be our highlight video to kick us off. That is also Off the Top with Mr. November. I'll make sure to link you on all my personal Facebook pages and Instagram pages and everything as well, too. So, Ryan, appreciate your time, man, again. Thanks for the impact that you have, and go get to your son's birthday party, dude. We don't want you to be late for that shit, even though you probably are.
Definitely late. I still got to go get the balloons.
Uh-oh.
I'll make it, though. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Appreciate you.